Hello, everybody. My name is Elvis, and you are watching Joan of Art House. In my last video, I had talked about being so close and so near to approaching my 100th video, and today is a very special video. I'm gonna be counting down all the movies I watch to the 100th movie, and I am so excited to talk about that 100th movie. Um, I've been thinking about this. I've been planning this for maybe like two, maybe 3 weeks now, and yes, I am very excited. The 100th movie, I wanted it to be very special, and I wanted to talk about it very clearly, very in depth, and I guess just really appreciate the movie, and hopefully, you'll be able to watch it if you can, and I pray, I urge you to watch, to stay at the end of the video so you can see what that 100th video is, or 100th movie is, and yeah, let's get to it. Thank you. Oh, once again, thank you so much for watching all these videos and sticking with me. Why, as I suffer really to watch one movie a day, and hit this landmark with me and you together, and maybe hopefully you saw movies and saw movies that interest you, or I don't know, something that I hope that you see more movies because of this. And I'm not just saying kind of blindly, but because of the movies that I see, I hope that you find one that you want to watch. And once again, thank you again. I appreciate it so much. 91. The 91st movie I saw was Okja. After seeing a lot of Bong Joon-ho movies, I felt especially inclined to watch just more Bong Joon-ho movies, and this was probably the most easily accessible Bong Joon-ho movie there is. And this one was a very, very okay movie. I think in my review on Letterboxd, I said something like, this is probably his apology movie for making Barking Dogs Never Bite, because as Barking Dogs Never Bite is, there's a lot of animal abuse or harm towards animals. This is definitely about the resistance and halting of animal abuse. I had a lot of fun with this movie. It made me think about Jake Gyllenhaal and his kind of whiny voice, and how it closely resembled, or at least mirrored, the same voice that Robert Pattinson did with Mickey 17. This movie was okay. I think Paul Dano was stealing the show, and Steven Yeun, and yeah, this is a fun movie, and kind of like what I was saying in the other Bong Joon-ho movies, they fit between two categories, and this was definitely on that second category that I talked about, with the fighting and resistance of some kind of company or something bigger than them. This next one is going to be a little bit tough because there is actually no trailer for it. I'm looking right now, and I can't really find it. So I'll just put a review that this other person made while it plays in the background. I will link that video in the description so that you guys can also follow through or watch that same review. But yeah, let's get to it. The 92nd movie that I saw was The Grinch That Stole Bitches. Because I've been watching a lot of things on Tubi, I've been coming across very odd movies, and my best friend and brother Ricky, he had mentioned this movie to me, and I had to find this movie. And because I couldn't believe that this movie existed and that it was real and that it was on Tubi. This isn't a movie that I necessarily wanted to watch, but more something that I needed to watch to really see that this movie actually exists. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I'm trying to talk about this carefully. This movie is fucking god awful. It is so shit. From the video cinematography, from the audio, from the story. I swear, whenever it was almost like a musical. Whenever there was a music on, it was just time to shake ass at any chance there can. It is definitely one of those Tubi movies that you see on like Instagram or anywhere where you're like, I can't believe that is a real movie on Tubi. So I watched it, I found it, I saw it, and I was like, God, this is terrible. This is god awful. Oh my God. I think I'm more surprised that it was actually made and finished and released on Tubi, and it kind of makes me wonder, how the hell do I do that? How do I get in contact with Tubi? How do I get my movie distributed? And if so, like, how do I get funding? You know what, Tubi, if you're listening to this, if you're hearing this, please distribute my movie. Please, I would really like some help, and I'd really like this movie made and distributed. So, hit me up, Tubi. As much as I'm bashing on this movie, I think it was just fun to watch. There's like this kind of shock value to it where you're like, oh my God, what the hell are they doing? Or I can't believe they did that, or just any kind of thing like that. That's kind of what the whole movie is. Yeah, I have nothing else to say about this, so if you watch it, please let me know what you thought about it, and please don't let me suffer alone. So, go on to the next video. On the 93rd movie, I saw Ghost World. I saw this almost immediately right after The Grinch That Stole Bitches because I just needed to cleanse my palate. But this movie was a lot better than I thought. I have actually never seen this movie. I've seen so many clips about it, and I've heard the synopsis over and over again. So like in a way, like you've kind of seen it, but you just know about it. And I'm glad I finally did. This movie is very important to the age of time that when it came out, and I'm glad that it did. This movie is very cool. I forget the characters' names. I think it's like Ineen or something like that. But they befriend this kind of like loser dude who's just kind of outside selling records. And I guess he's not necessarily a loser dude, but he's not as, I guess, exciting as the other people are. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like a weird coming to age movie, and how relationships get so weird and muddled as you grow up. And yeah, I mean, some of the people that I've talked to in high school, I don't talk to anymore, and even more so in middle school, elementary, and oddly enough, even college. I hardly talk to anybody I went to college with, and that's kind of how life is, and it's kind of like a fun, weird representation of that. This was a very fun movie, and if you're somewhere around this age and maybe actually a little bit older, it might hit you a little bit more. And yeah, this movie was really fun. Please watch it. The 94th movie I saw was The Creator. I had this weird story, or not necessarily weird, just a story with this movie. I was with my girlfriend Nicole. Hi. And we realized we haven't really gone on a movie date, so we decided like, what the hell, let's go watch a movie. We pulled up, we looked at the screen, and we thought, what the hell are we gonna watch? And I remember looking at the letters, The Creator, and I thought like, fuck it, let's just watch it. I don't care if it's good or bad or whatever. Let's just kind of really spend some time together. And because we got there late, we didn't have like the best seats. We actually had like somewhere like really up close off to the side, so we were kind of like looking out that way. We sat there in silence. We watched the hell out of this thing, and by the end of the movie, we were tearing up. We were crying, and since then, I was like, holy hell, this movie was so damn good. And I guess it's in that same realm of like style over substance, because this is only style, some substance. So it's very fun to look at, especially as a kid. I used to draw in like similar styles as this, like a robot with a gun, but he's also like a Buddhist. Isn't that cool, or something like that? And this movie was just super cool. The music choice that they use, perfect. The sound, the technology, the world building, fucking perfect. I don't want to spoil too much about it, but this movie definitely comes from a place of heart and passion. One thing I will say, something that holds me back from giving it like a higher rating, is the aspect ratio is incredibly wide, and I often feel like it hinders from the visual aspect of it. It's shot in this crazy widescreen format. I can't help but to think that I'm missing something from the other sides of the border, and I wish I could see more of that world. This very amazing world. And another thing is, the story is incredibly simple. It's not something too complicated, so it is kind of easy to predict. But I don't care. If you can watch it, please watch it. If you didn't like it, that is completely fine. I get it if you don't like it. This is my cup of tea. It's good stuff. The next movie I saw was Belly. I saw this with my dear friend Sabin. He invited me over to watch it. I saw a brief movie review on this like a few months ago, and I didn't really think too much about it. Yeah, we sat down, we watched it. It was very okay, and there were things that I wasn't liking about it, such as the pacing of the story and how fluid and how coherent this movie is to the audience. So the beginning makes sense, and just right after that opening intro, it is pieces of scenes and scenes together that don't necessarily flow well together. So you do end up becoming lost in the story until about just over half of the movie, and you're finally approaching the last parts, the kind of rising action of the movie, and then everything kind of starts to make sense. And I don't want to say that I wasn't paying attention, but it was hard to pay attention when all these scenes were kind of like very messily put together. The ending happens, and nearly everything in the movie makes sense. And I had talked about this with Sabin, and we had agreed, and we thought we'll watch the director commentary. So right after we had seen this movie, we instantly went back and watched it again with the director commentary, and the director walking us, holding our hand, explaining every scene and every situation and why things felt so out of place. It like instantly clicked for us that it wasn't that it was badly directed or badly edited. It's just that it was all these producers and executives in suits that were putting their finger in the pie and like just messing up and mudding up the entire story. So I do want to get my hands on the script so I can read it and really understand what the director wanted and what his original story was before all these suits had jumbled up and messed his fucking story up. So I don't want to give it a bad rating, but it's like this movie was done dirty because of that. So I think maybe in the future the director can maybe do this again, and I don't know, but yeah. The 96th movie that I saw was Charlie Bartlett. I've never heard about this new movie. I've never even seen anything about this movie. And after watching Odd Thomas, I wanted to see more of Anton Yelchin. I found this one on Tubi again. I'm almost only on Tubi at this point. Finding like some of the randomest movies there. Oh, seeing Anton being so young is just so funny to me. I don't know. He's just so young. He's just a little baby. Kat Dennings, I think is her name, and Robert Downey Jr. are in here, and Robert Downey Jr. is acting his ass off with Anton, and Anton is pulling his weight. Like he has a great performance in this movie. They have this moment together where I'm like, holy shit, like this is a really good scene. It kind of made me sad in a way because of Anton's passing, and it made me really kind of think and all the potential that Anton had as a actor. Definitely one of those actors that were gone too soon. This movie is really fun. It also feels like a kind of like novel for little kids, but there's definitely like a, I don't know, like a higher grade reading, and it's a fun movie. You should watch it. The 97th movie that I saw was Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. After watching Superman 1 and 2, I wanted to learn more about Christopher Reeve, and just whenever I find something new, I like to like dive myself into the world and research and history of that thing. And this documentary just found me was really powerful. It's really taken care of incredibly carefully. They do talk about like all the ups and downs of Christopher Reeve and his challenges, his accident, and how it affected others, and how his grit and passion just kind of overcame his paralysis, and how compassionate and hopeful he was, and how much of a driving force he was for a lot of people who had suffered spinal damage that resulted in paralysis. And yeah, this is an incredibly inspiring movie, and Robin Williams has such a effect here, and man, this is a very good documentary. Rest in peace, Robin Williams. Rest in peace, Christopher Reeves, and everybody out there. The 98th movie I saw was The Defiant Ones. Sidney Poitier is arguably my favorite actors, and each movie that I see is just further proof how good of an actor he is, and the presence and the command that he has on screen. Yeah, this is a very fun movie. It's not like some kind of groundbreaking, like mind-altering movie, but and that's fine. What you do need to know is that Sidney is the first African American who won the Grammys in, I think it's 1978, and remained the only African American who had won that award until 2002, I believe. I'm not saying everybody else wasn't, I guess, worthy of an award. Because of the way that Sidney carries himself is just further proof that he cannot be ignored. He is amazing in this movie. Yeah, I really like this movie. It's not like too complicated, it's not too complex, so it's not like some kind of groundbreaking movie, but yes, I like this movie very much, and I'll go a little into it. Sidney Poitier, his character is Colin, and he is chained up to a white man, Joker, and these two are trying to run away from prison during a segregation racist era, and man, the way those two characters interact, it's amazing. There's a scene where Joker had said something like, You can't tell me what to do. I'm not married to you. And Sydney kind of shows his chains. Yeah, we're married, all right. Yeah, I'm real married to you. I'm locked up with you. And yeah, I don't know. It's very good. Yeah, it's a pretty good movie. We are getting so close. This is the 99th movie we saw today, or this is the 99th movie that I've seen so far, and I am getting more and more excited to tell you what the 100th movie is, and I'm so ready to just yap about this movie. The 99th movie we saw was I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry. This movie is honestly kind of funny. And it's hard for me to like comedy movies because I feel like everybody just does them wrong. They're very cheap, they're very crass, like they're very like there isn't well thought out comedy. And that's exactly what this movie is. Its whole backbone is relying on the common stereotype or trope that that gay guys are feminine, fragile, and dainty, and that trope has gone stale, has gone beyond stale. It's almost just reinforcing those stereotypes, and it has a more negative effect than it does even a comedic effect. There are times where it works well, but then there are other times, and almost the other rest of the times, Adam Sandler's character, the way we're introduced with him and the way that the problem is brought up to him, he kind of defends himself with the F slur. And later on in the movie, there was a party and somebody had called him the F slur. Somebody had called Adam Sandler the F slur, and he had gone defensive and turned around and fought back, and had learned and grown to say the more appropriate term is the word gay, which I can recognize that there is a growth among everybody, among the fire team, among Adam Sandler himself, and Chuck and Larry. Like, they both grow together as a pseudo couple. Something that bothers me about this movie is that it spends the entire movie to tell you to help you grow out of your fear, and this movie helps you grow out of your homophobia. And right after the movie ends and everybody gets the message, beautifully delivered by David Aykroyd, and we get the message loud and clear, very straightforward. And there's this wedding scene at the very end, and Dan Aykroyd solidified and recessed into that stereotype where being gay was the scarlet letter, and you wouldn't want to associate yourself with being gay. And I feel like this movie's message was a complete waste of time if you're just gonna go back and recess to, but I'm not gay though. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's the whole Seinfeld bit of, not that there's anything wrong with that. And I think this movie would have been a lot better if you stood your ground and solidified that this is the message that you want to carry and deliver, instead of backtracking and cowarding into, oh, I'm not gay. Oh, I'm not gay. They're gay and I'm not gay. You see what I'm saying? And it's whatever. Solid movie though. I have been so excited to talk about this movie. This movie, I wouldn't say I found this movie, but I don't want to say it found me, like some kind of like did I rescue the dog, or the dog rescue me? You know, it's not anything in that kind of situation. But I found this movie, I think, when I was kind of like, not necessarily in a low, but in a kind of, I was needing something to really kind of spark my love for movies again. And um, I think you can tell from the pattern of how I rate these movies that there's like this kind of like, everything is around like 7.5, and it maybe jumps to like a 8.5, maybe a 9. This is not one of those movies. I wholeheartedly feel the love, the magic, the passion in this movie, and it 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 means a lot to me because it clicks every criteria that I have for movies. Not that it's like solidified criteria, but just that it itches, massages, and engages my brain just the way I like, and I love this movie. And of course, this movie isn't perfect, but the sustenance, the substance is, there's so much of it that it almost just rolls over any kind of flaw that there is. And I I love everything about this movie, from the music, the cinematography, the editing. I've never realized how well done, how well edited a movie is until I saw this movie, and I'm floored that that this movie exists. Holy hell! The lights turned off, but this movie is incredibly good. I am pleased to announce, and with so much love and honor, I now present to you the 100th movie. The next movie I saw, the 100th movie that I saw, is